Tottenham Hotspur 3-1 up with 10 minutes to go. They concede 2 goals. They give up the opportunity to go third and above Manchester United. They remain fourth, but for how long? Newcastle closing in, Brighton closing in, Liverpool with half a chance as well, with games in hand over Tottenham. They simply had to win today. They had to do it. Harry Kane, Perisic giving them that 3-1 lead after a disastrous start to the second half. Both the main starters, the best 2 centre-backs at Southampton, had to leave the field of play injured as well. But Tottenham, I hate to say it, I don't want to be sort of basic, but Spurs were Spursy again, bottling a 3-1 lead to go third, to go above Man United. There's a pressure on United anyway, because United have got 2 games in, have missed 2 Premier League games because of the Carabao Cup, because of the FA Cup they're still in. But a great opportunity for rivals to really put the pressure upon them. And Spurs, in the best position to do that, failed drastically today. And it was overall a poor performance. Yes, they scored 3 goals, but it was 3 goals on the counter or against the run of play. Southampton dominated the ball. They dominated the play. I think they're the better footballing side on the performance. The difference between the 2 teams is the sheer quality that Tottenham possess in individual positions over that of Southampton. But what a limp end. And to give the penalty away in the dying moments in that way, a needless sort of swing of the boots from Sarr at the end. And he'll be the villain of this. But I think Spurs have got to look at how they play football. I think this is, again, an indictment of how poor things are under Antonio Conte. The point of Antonio Conte is that you don't concede lots of goals. To concede 3 like they did today, almost needlessly, at the beginning of the second half, you want to be strong, you want to be resolute, you want to make sure you're in position. Yes, it was a great ball from Lavia that cut open the lines, but where was the defense? And the last 2 goals, go back and watch Theo Walcott's goal. Every player run to the line. There's 2 or 3 players run to the line, and they gave Theo Walcott about, I would say, if you put a circle around him, he had about 8 to 10 yards of free space around him. Every defender let him go. Every Spurs player let him go. Absolutely horrendous. Horrendous from Tottenham. But in terms of joining the panel today, if Orchie's watching, Jerome as well, we need to get you into a group chat because I need to send you guys the links ahead of time because I never know how to get hold of you guys other than when you're in these comment sections here. Sava and Deji are going to be joining us soon as well to have their say. Alan will be on joining us too. So there's going to be a fair few Gooners coming onto the show. Not Gooners, sorry, Spurs fans coming on to have their go. I said Gooners because I got a message come through from an Aussie Gooner. I just read it on my Insta. So there we go. Let's go to some of your comments that are coming through here. First of all, Jerome says, very dubious penalty, though, but who cares? It was Spursy. There was contact. Not a great deal of contact, but there was contact. You know, the irony in this is last week, Southampton didn't get a penalty conceded against them. There was more contact on Rashford, more contact on Bruno, more contact on Garnacho, no penalty given. Less this week, but there was contact. The player missed the ball, and he kicked Maitland-Niles in the leg. It's a foul. It should be a penalty. I do not believe in this higher threshold to get penalties. It's a nonsense. It's crazy. Peter here says, Arsenal boys sinking Spurs, Walcott and Maitland-Niles. Come on, you Gooners, is what Peter says here. I hope O'Hara will enjoy this as much as he enjoyed Arsenal getting knocked out the Europa League, is what Daniel says here. Look, in fairness to O'Hara, he's been on Conte's back for a fair number of weeks now, and he should be, because Conte's the reason they're losing games like this. He's not an awful manager. He's just doing an awful job because he doesn't want to be there. You blame the board for hiring him and not giving him what he wants in the first place. And then you do have to look at some of these players as well. Again, getting beat by United or by City or by Liverpool is understandable. But the amount of teams that Spurs continually drop points to who are nowhere near their level is ridiculous. You look at Tottenham this year, and they're sitting 4th in the league, which is good. Right? They're sitting. I think they're 4th in the league. I could be wrong saying that. I want to go and double check. They are 4th. Yeah, they're 4th, right? On 49 points. They've lost 9. They've drawn 4. But go and look at those defeats and draws. So many of them are to teams they shouldn't be drawing or losing to. And they've done it on such a regular basis. You know, if Man United win their 2 games in hand, if Newcastle win their games in hand, if Tottenham win, sorry, if Liverpool win their games in hand, they go 1 point behind them. If Brighton win their games in hand, they go in front of them. If Newcastle and Brighton and Man United win their games in hand, I'm not saying Spurs are mathematically out of it, but they'll find themselves in sixth or seventh, and anywhere between anywhere. How many points at Newcastle won? Two. So they could end up being 4. They can anywhere between 4 to 6 points behind, and they've got to win in those games periods as well. Very, very poor indeed. Um, Not even shocked. Purposely sat back at 3-1 up for absolutely no reason. Another, other than Romero, this back line is beyond disgraceful for a top flight club, is what L's got to say. I hear you, brother. I hear why the frustrations are there. Rottingham Spurs, Conte bottling their championship is in their top 4. They are bottling it. They are bottling it now. And look, they had such a great look. Man United are under pressure because Newcastle were closing in. Brighton are on the horizon, but we were level on games with those teams, and we're ahead of them by 3+ points. Spurs had the opportunity to sit 2 points ahead of us. Sorry, 1 point ahead of us. Yes, we would have had 2 games in hand, but points on the board are worth more. And that's the one thing for Spurs. They've got more points than Newcastle and Brighton and Liverpool. But, you know, they've got those the games in hand are there. Where this becomes a real pressure is if those games in hand are won. They've got the points on the board, which is fair enough. But the form of Tottenham must be really concerning to their fans right now. 3 wins, yes, in the last 5 games. They're brilliant against Nottingham Forest, brilliant against Chelsea, brilliant against West Ham. But then you throw the Wolves performance in there, the Leicester performance just before that, today's performance, the hit and miss nature. You know, they may still make top 4, but it's going to be very, very difficult for them indeed. Terry the Gooner. It's funny, really, because somebody in the comment section before we went live said Terry be happy because Spurs won. I'm a Gooner today. I was a Spurs fan earlier on today. No, I'm a United fan, and I celebrated in this room when Southampton scored like you would not. But I had to turn the volume down and face the other way, though, because I was too nervous to look, because I don't want to be overtaken. But there we go. There we go. Explain how Dyer is getting an England call-up. No idea. Dyer is a shambolic football player. And even when he was playing well, even when he was doing well in the first period under Antonio Conte, I knew what he really was, and that is a bang average football player. Spurs are no better than Wolves, Everton, or West Ham, but we keep talking about them like they are this great team. They are rubbish. Like, I think you're better than those teams, but yeah, you're better than those teams, definitely. I get why you're angry there, my friend. Conte's Ketchup here says a cheating ref. You think the referee cheated you today? I would love you to explain why he cheated you, what his rationale was for, and what decisions do you think went against you that shouldn't have done. I'm very intrigued to know. D here says, make no mistake, United are in the top 4 battle. United are again now, because two things have dragged Man United into it. The first one that dragged United into it was we didn't beat Liverpool and we didn't beat Southampton, so we dropped 5 points. Then we've had 2 weekends recently where we've not played Premier League football, and everybody else has had the opportunity to catch up 3 to 6 points. So you add that all together, and you're talking around about potentially a 12-point swing in that period. It's all about United's response in their games in hand. Win our games in hand, and I think we're comfortable. Lose them, and we're in this race. But success in other tournaments has dragged us back into this race more than anything else, and that's just the nature of the beast. But United are in it. I'm fairly confident in United making it still. I'm not worried, but I do want some of these teams to drop some points when they're playing. There's no doubt about it. Theo spoiling Spurs' party. Lol is what AMT has got to say here. Yeah, they certainly did. They certainly did today. Well, he certainly did. There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it whatsoever. 3 beautiful goals for Southampton. But I actually think all the goals today for every team were really good. But a penalty. It was a good strike. But all the goals today were really good. I wouldn't say it was a high-quality game because there was some really shoddy defending from both teams. But it was a really entertaining match. Both teams attacked. Both teams were open. Really, really enjoyed what they did. I was about to bring the panel out, and then 2 people just disappeared out the back. Alan and Perchy, bring yourselves back, boys, so that I can bring out the panel. Because I'm being honest with you, I like symmetrical look on the screen, so I need you guys here to do it. So just come back, please. Honestly, don't feel we're getting top 4, Terry, is what Omar says as a Liverpool fan. I get why you say that, but the let's just see how you respond to the previous loss. The fact that you're not playing this weekend really doesn't help you. It really won't help you this weekend because of the situation with. Sorry, I'm being so stupid. I was reading the comment. I was seeing it was coming through at the back. Not playing this weekend won't help get you over last week's defeat. 110%. I understand that completely. This here says a 20-point gap tomorrow. Duty little wasteman club is what Get says here. Southgate picked Dyer over Ben White and Trent Alexander-Arnold. What is he thinking? Well, not over Trent. Trent's a right back. Dyer's a centre back. Ben White, you could argue, could play at centre back better. But yeah, the Trent. Don't try and throw Trent into this, Jason. Trent's a right back, and he shouldn't be in the squad either. He shouldn't be in it either. I'll just messaging Perchy to see where he's disappeared to. So if Arsenal win tomorrow, they'll be 20 points above Tottenham. I remember getting laughed at by Patrick when I said I think Arsenal will finish 10 points ahead of you. It's crazy. It's crazy. You fast forward the time and you see where you end up. But as I said at the top of the video, Spurs should be Spurs, listen, I'm intrigued to see what they say. But I'd be massively embarrassed to be 3-1 up against the bottom of the league team. You have to see it out. You have to. The defending, just go back and watch the highlights and the defending, especially for Theo Walcott's goal. It is beyond, absolutely beyond scandalous. Beyond scandalous. It really is. I'm not gonna read out why Perchy now can't come on, but man is ripped. I don't know what's more embarrassing, Spurs result or what you've just DM'd me, Perchy. Tell her no. Tell her I'm chatting to the boys about the footy, and you'll be in a bit. Come on now, Perchy. Man, I always wonder what that mark was on his forehead. It's the thumbprint. It's the thumbprint. That's what it is, Perchy, my old mate. Right, I'm going to bring my panel out now. We've got Sava, we've got Deji, we've got man like Alan, who we haven't spoke to in a while. We've also got Aguna Sam coming on. We like a bit of rival chat on the terrace as well. Hit the like button for us. It's really important that you do that. Make sure you're subscribing and turning on the bell notifications as well. Plus, links in our description. I'm going to post it in the live chat as well for you. Is the links to follow us, our top 6 podcast that comes out twice a week. I've pinned that. Go make sure you're following that at the end as well. Let's do this. Let's go. Welcome back to the show, boys. Obviously, a very, very disappointing result for you all. We'll come to Sam from a rival point of view in a minute. Deji, bruv, you look as angry as I expect Spurs fans to be. Talk to me, my friend.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I need Conte to go, and I need him to go immediately because for me, he's a pussy-hole, to be honest. And I'm sorry to say, but he needs to go because, to be fair, Southampton were there for the taking, in my opinion. And I'm just looking back at the game. I'm thinking they probably had more clear chances on goal. How can you be 3-1 up in the second half and end up drawing 3-0? I know there's some question marks about the penalty at the end of the game. But there are two things I just don't get with him, and it's his substitution, and he's like a little kid. Like, he just does wild things, and he's experimenting. I questioned when he started Sarr in the North London derby at home, given he's not started a game before, and he's started him. Today, there was a perfect opportunity. Bring on Danjuma, who's fresh, can get the ball to the other side of the pitch, because that's where you want the ball. You bring on Sarr in the mid. So for what reason? You can see that Son's tired. You can see that Kane's tired. Get them off. Even bring on Lucas Moura. I don't give a shit. Just make the right changes. That brother from Southampton's manager made 3 bold changes that saved them the game. And we paid this punk 15 million a season for this rubbish. Get him out of the club. I said, if Spurs don't take 3 points this game, he needs to get out. I don't want to see Conte in for another week because too many games that Tottenham should have taken maximum points. We don't get the points, and then we're getting trolled online by pussy old Arsenal fans. I'm done with it. Get him out real quick. That's all I want to see.
Mate, I hear the frustration and anger there, and I absolutely concur with you 110%. the fact that he never takes off the Sons and the Kanes when they're tired, it's the same system, it's the same problems all the time. Sava, you don't look as angry. You almost look resigned to this as usuality. But why is he still here? Why is Conte still in the job, costing you points like this?
Because I don't understand how Spurs fans are still confused by this. This is what we do. This is the manager we chose. This is how we've run as a club for years and years and years. I said the other day, look in the WhatsApp group the other day, Terry. The guy's coming at me like, because I refuse to laugh at other clubs. How can I laugh at other clubs when this is Tottenham? I can't do it, Terry. Right? They're all having a go at me. You're miserable. You're boring. You're grumpy. No, I just know Tottenham at any point will drop a clanger. Now let's break this down. Right? Our last 5 games, have been losing to Sheffield United, losing to Wolves, drawing with a poor AC Milan team at our own ground, beating the worst away side in the Premier League, factually, Nottingham Forest. They're the worst team away from home, and we beat them. And then we go to bottom of the league and concede 3 goals. And like Deji just said, just the way we're set up, the subs, everything is so negative. And Southampton came out from the start of the game. They were the better team. I'm not gonna sit here as a Spurs fan and lie. They were the better team for the 90 minutes. They got on the ball. James Ward-Prowse dictated in the midfield. They tried to get in behind. They kept possession. We scored a couple of goals on the break, and everyone goes, "Oh, Antonio." Not for me. Not for me. I do not like this manager. I do not listen. I'm not going to get angrier. I feel Deji's frustration. I feel I'm past that. This manager for me is. He's the reason he's still in the job. Let's call it what it is. Deji, Alan, I'm not sure if you guys will agree with me. The reason he's in the job is because mathematically we can get top 4.
Yeah.
If that was not mathematically possible, he wouldn't be here. And Conte's catch up saying, I didn't see the game. I've literally just done a live stream watching the game, right? They were all over us. I'm embarrassed. I watched the game with this man. I watched the game with Mr. Box Office, didn't we, Alex? And it I'm embarrassed. Deji, like you said, Dan Juma, why not get Son or Kulu off, get some fresh legs on and let him run at them? Nope. The subs that come on, a defensive right wing back and a defensive midfielder. And then when you go from 3-1 to 3-3, I've said, that's why I don't laugh at other clubs. Spurs are in shocking form. And at the moment, the table looks a bit skewed because teams around us have got 2 to 3 games in hand. Yeah? I'm not angry. I'm not even disappointed anymore. I expect this. It is poor. Forget the penalty decision, Terry. That's what people are going to clutch onto, right? Yep. They're going to clutch onto, was the penalty, should it have been or not? Forget that. We were crap to watch again. We are so bad on the eye. I just can't. I just do not like this manager. I do not like his setup. Rant over. Sorry. Rant over.
Mate, and I understand, again, as I say, like I'll get on with George and I get on with Patrick really well. But this is what I've been saying for a long time. There's bantering people for individual moments, but there's taking it too far. And today should be another example to Spurs fans where, like, learn when to start attacking other football clubs, because you do this too. This isn't a one in a blue moon. This is. I'm not even joking. I would say in the last 10 years alone, you do this 10 to 15 times a season across all competitions. It is such regularity. So it isn't only on Antonio Conte. It is a Spurs thing. But this guy is sabotaging what you're all doing. Alan, give me your thoughts, bro.
On purpose.
So I think the last time I was on here, Terry, it was after the Man United game, and I have an absolute rant about Conte, saying Conte back in October, and nothing's changed. The guys are just basically, everyone's talking sense now. Everyone's seen that Conte... It's not the fact that he's restricted. Let's be honest. In the transfer window, we all said, well, quite a lot of Spurs fans were like, okay, smart buyers, we've got 2 in every position, got the squad now, which is what Conte wanted. And still, exactly like now, he's still making changes. But he's mismanaged his team from the first game of the season.
100%.
Poor performances, poor starts, meaning we have to play at a top level, pushing it for 90 minutes, keeping Kane, Son on. In the season where you've had the World Cup, and literally you can see some of these players are dead in their feet, and he still won't. Conte was meant to be this manager that doesn't favour people and everything like absolute BS that is. He favours names. He will not drop people who are completely out of form, performing well under par, and it's just got to the point that's sick to my stomach. Before the start of the start of the game, you clearly saw Richarlison wasn't looking good, and he still started him. He looks like a manager. People are saying he's saying the right things now. He looks like he wants to stay. I don't care. I was Conte out in October.
No.
Nothing's changed.
Yep. Agreed.
He's literally sitting people back. Do you know how many times we get into our shape against lower teams and we go, okay, you come and attack us, and they get through us quite easily and attack our defense because our defense is a shambles at times. And we're highlighting this is our weakness, attack us. And teams like Southampton are putting free passes. It's been happening all season. We went away to Bournemouth. It happened again against them. We had to come from 2-0 down against Brentford. It's happened all over the season. And it's absolutely ridiculous how some Spurs fans are still saying, trust in Conte. Absolutely not. The football was absolutely poor. It's lackluster. I saw better performances under Nuno. I was Nuno out towards the end with Mourinho. And Sava hitting the nail on the head. Mourinho was at European places when he got sacked because it was cheaper for him. The reason why Conte is still in a job, if Conte was 7th or 8th in the league, Conte would have been gone after the exits from the FA Cup because we know what our board's like. These problems are on Conte. It's also on some of the players who quite clearly are not good enough, and they continue to keep holding the place in this squad who, for all intents and purposes, we had one of the better squads coming into the season. We've just got to understand the fact that this season we've been absolutely shocking. We've got to hold it when fans come at us because it's been absolutely true. And yeah, we need a complete reset at Spurs. I think I'm the only Spurs fan I know that want the owners out, Conte out, and a lot of these players out. Everyone picks or chooses a favourite going, I only want the owners out, I only want the manager out. And we've got quite clear this club,
all out.
They was on those performances. 3-1 up, and you're not managing a game. Conte is meant to be and another thing that I hate with some Spurs fans. Oh, Conte with 1 game a week is a different animal. You're meant to be a world-class manager, and you come at me with 1 game a week, and he's a different animal. I don't care. He's meant to be putting that performance in week out, whether it's 2 or 3 games a week. He's meant to be an elite manager. Quite clearly, he's not, and he can only do it when he's been given loads of money. He can't adapt. He can't adapt to the players around him.
Alan, can I just say, sorry, you know this 1 game a week nonsense. Sorry to cut in, right? If you look at in the last month, Tottenham Hotspur have played Leicester, who are in a relegation battle and lost 4-1. Right? We've gone to Wolves, who are in a relegation battle and lost 1-0. We've gone to Southampton, who are bottom of the table, drawn 3-3. Right? A win against Forest and West Ham, and everyone is see back Conte. Not for me. Get him out of this club.
That's the thing. Us fans were going, well, quite a lot of Spurs fans were going, 8 of the next 9 are all against teams in the bottom half. We've lost more than we had in the previous month or 2 beforehand. We're an absolute joke, and I'm fed up. Seeing this Tottenham team perform, the way we're performing and the way we're set out tactically wise, I'm absolutely embarrassed to be a Spurs fan at the moment because it's shocking. It's absolutely piss poor. I'm sorry. I've had enough of this club and this manager at a time. I've had enough.
Let it rip, man.
You've got to let it out. I feel sorry for you guys because there are too many. I understand the whole. Well, there's no point getting rid of the manager because the board is still bad. I had this argument with a lot of United fans. I'm like, listen, I know Jose isn't. Like, I was up for getting rid of Jose, but I was like, we can't take our eye off the board being bad. It's about you can be the manager out and board out at the same time. I think that the problem is we live in this world where everything is either or either. Does that make sense? It's I was listening to a space yesterday, which was debating music, and it was like what the guy that liked Drake was saying the other guy's favorite was absolutely crap, and I'm listening thinking, but they're both good. Why is that how the world is now? Alex is here with us, Mr. Box Office himself. Talk to me, bro. Another devastating performance, another bad result for Spurs. What are you saying, Al?
I'm just saying, what do you expect? What did you expect? Because I'll give you an example. I went to the AC Milan game, yeah? I had some chicken. Before the game because I knew it was going to be a bang average game. I sat there and thought, I need my chicken beforehand because I said, you know what? I know it's going to be really bad and that's it, yeah? I go, it was an absolutely terrible first half. Second half, I had to get a drink. It's a Coke because I don't drink. And then we had what we had, yeah? A bang average AC Milan team, yeah? I didn't think we were going to win the Champions League. No way. Absolutely no way. But you saw what happened with Phil P. He wasn't prepared, and he ended up ranting. And it was the best rant going on Tottenham away. You know what I mean? You know, I've said last season, we were lucky to get top 4 last season because we had 1 game a week because we bottled it in the Conference League. And I said I wasn't going to let that go. Yeah, who was fit most of those games last season? Harry Kane and Son, because we had 2 rejects in the building from January, 2 rejects in the building. And yes, I did say 2 rejects in the building. Yeah, right. And we were going over the top about him. This season, I was not enjoying it. I've been to every single home game so far. Yeah, watching Tottenham. I'm calm now. It's like Netflix and chill watching Tottenham now. It's like Netflix and chill because I know exactly how we're going to play. Yeah, I think we're going to get fourth. It's because of Harry Kane. Yeah, if you look at the stat about Harry Kane, if we didn't have Harry Kane at Tottenham, it's frightening. It is absolutely frightening. We'll be 14th in the league and out of every single competition.
Yeah.
That's all I need to say. And all the people that keep on saying about, I'm leaving out. But sorry, it's not just Conte's problem. It's the whole club. Yeah. I can't talk about the ownership too much because I can't do anything about the ownership. But we can't look at the whole thing. Conte's the wrong man for the wrong club at the moment, and that's it. And I want attacking football, and that's it. Like Bill Nicholson and Keith Bergenshaw, and that's it. And that's courtesy of Mr. Botsoff. If you don't know, get to know. Back to you, Terry. I'm done.
Alex, can I just chime in real quick on Alex? No, I totally agree. But I'm watching this Spurs team, and I'm not being funny. Terry, sorry, I'm gonna have to use this platform. I'm offering to do the job free of charge. I don't want to be paid. I just want to have the squad. Let me work with them, and we can do payment by results. If I'm not winning, don't pay me a penny. I don't give a damn because I don't think it's that hard. I think the squad is decent enough to at least be beating the likes of Southampton. Agreed. But the other thing is this. I think, like you said, Alex, Kane has done such a service. What I'm going to do, and I'm going to pull it in, and the police are going to be at my door. I'm going to kidnap Kane. I'm going to put a black bag over his head, and I'm going to drop him right in the middle of Manchester City Centre for either Ten Hag or Pep to go and get him because he should not be at our club after this season. I'm kicking him out because he doesn't deserve to put up with this crap.
Deji, I've said it on my channel already. I've said he's a loser. If he keeps at Tottenham, if he stays at Tottenham, he's a loser at the moment because at the moment he's not winning no trophies at Tottenham. Period. Absolutely, period. And I'll tell you now, if Conte signs that contract, Sava said it as well. My boy Sava, yeah? My boy Sava, and Perchi as well, because they're my boys as well, yeah? Right? I'll say maybe Tottenham away as well, because I'm good with them as well. But it's saying, Terry, we've got some things to talk about. We've got things to talk about here, by the way. And Alan as well, my boy, yeah? But my point is, yeah, if he signs that contract, there's no moaning. There is no moaning anymore, yeah? Because you know exactly what you're getting with Tottenham. You know exactly what you're getting with Tottenham. So there's no moaning anymore. Yeah, I'm not going to listen to you anymore. Yeah, not going to press conferences saying, I ain't got the players, I can't do this. Sorry, you've had 18 months at Tottenham now. Sorry, there's no moaning anymore. That's it, I'm done. Sorry, Terry, that's it, done.
We have a Spurs fan here, Cedric, who says AMN, obviously Maitland-Niles, went through Sarr mid-air and made contact with him first, but Sarr studs were up. Football's gone. Was it a penalty for you guys?
It doesn't matter. That game should have been done and dusted. That should be irrelevant at this point. If you watch it back, I've watched it back a couple of times. It was the Southampton player that got to the ball first, and there was the slightest touches. Now, I'm one of these. I don't use every penalty excuse to say, oh, we were robbed and all that. That's not in my DNA. We should have, with 3-1, we should have seen the game out and have 3 points regardless of the fact. We cause our own problems. For me, I if they didn't overturn it, must have seen something there. I saw a little touch, and that's all it is these days. It was a penalty. It's simple as. I'm not going to be having a meltdown. We should have seen the game out.
It's before that. It's before that. For me, he's never brought on Sarr. He hardly plays Sarr. So why now? That's my thing. If it is something that he normally does, at the 80th minute, Sarr gets to come on, I would bloody understand. We ain't seen him since.
Well, that's strategy.
So I don't understand why he decided to bring on Sarr.
Strategy's cooking.
Sarr, but it's just odd. The whole thing is just odd.
Can I tell you? I always sit on. Listen, I like to try and be down the middle, and I look at it like this: if we were 3-2 down and had been given that penalty, right? No Spurs fan is going to be sitting there going, it wasn't a penalty. So for me, I'm like Alan. I don't use decisions. The decisions are so bad in football these days that they're bad every game, every week. It's not about, that club gets decisions. They're so bad in general. But if the players know the decisions are that bad, keep your sense about you. But like Alan said, Terry, right? This shouldn't have got This shouldn't have got to 3-2 hanging on. You're 3-1 up, right? You're 3-1 up with 10 minutes to go at the team who are bottom of the table, right? No excuse about how bad our defenders are. No excuse about bad tackles and penalties. That is where a manager who has paid 15, 18, 20, whatever he's paid million a year, manage the situation. Yeah. But I just sat and watched him get schooled today by a manager who I can't even remember his name. Not being disrespectful. I can't even remember his name. Schooled him today on the pitch. Yeah, we scored what did Spurs score? We got a breakaway goal with Porro. Yeah, good goal. We got the header from Kane, good goal. And then Perisic scored a good volley. But our actual play within 90 minutes, and as Deji said, have we got the best squad in the world? And do I expect us to be winning titles and trophies? No. Do I expect us to not be losing to Wolves, drawing with Southampton, losing to Sheffield United's B team, Nottingham Forest B team, Moura, Middlesbrough? It goes on and on and on. And Conte gets away with everything. This guy is shocking.
One thing I got to say about Tottenham, I've heard Tottenham fans go on about the past couple of weeks. I mean, all these Spurs fans on this panel right here, I got respect for you because you keep it real. You've said it, Alan, you said it since before any Spurs fan. You were the first one to say Conte because you saw what was going to happen and everyone saw it. 3 at the back. You play 3 at the back every game and you concede goals. Southampton have not scored more than 2 goals in the game all season. They played Tottenham Hotspur and they scored 3. I mean, it shows that Conte is a good defensive manager. I mean, it's a complete myth. And also, I just want to mention Spurs fans saying they want Pochettino back. It's playing right into Levy's hands. Levy says, hang on, they're against me. They want me out. But if I bring back Poch, then ticket sales next season are going to be through the roof. If we bring this guy back, everyone's going to forget about me. Everyone's going to forget about this. And they're going to go on and thinking, we got Poch back. Everything's fine. When in reality, bringing back Poch is just a cover for Levy. As he covered for Levy the past 5 years.
Well, the problem is, if you don't mind me saying, is that what needs to happen at Spurs is Tottenham need to be sold. We need an American, we need a Chinese, we need somebody from the UAE. Bloody hell, buy this club. Now, if we don't get someone to buy this club and Levy's still in charge, then you need someone who can work with him, in my opinion. I don't want Levy to be there. I hear people who are not really feeling Poch back, but let's be real. Poch has produced the best results under that bloody regime, because that's what I'm calling it. It's a regime under that bloody Levy. So what we need is to be sold, and if Levy refuses to sell, who's going to come in and do a better job?
Yeah, but Deji, that's a pipe dream, right? Like when we're saying Levy needs to sell, our football club is worth £4.5 billion to our owners, right? To our owners. Why, Alan? We had this chat on your show the other night, right?
Yeah.
This is the point. If I've built my house, like I said to Alan, my house is worth £1 million. By the way, it's not. This is just hypothetical. If my house,
I bet, no funding boy. I bet
it's not right. If my house is worth £1 million, Deji, right? And then I turn around and I do £1 million worth of improvements, and I double the price of the property, right? People could knock on my door and go, I'll give you £2 million for this house. I turn around and go, yeah, it's not for sale. Yeah, but I'm offering you £2 million, what it's worth. Yeah, but it's not for sale. We've got no need to sell. And that's how I see Tottenham. They've spent 22 years, Deji, look, I agree with you. I want them to sell. But whether we like this or not, they have spent 22 years building their profile, building the football club to be a sports empire. This is not a football club anymore. We are a multi-purpose empire. Boxing, Formula One, concerts, golf, right? All of these things, they've built that. So why? I keep saying this to people and no one can give me an answer. Why are they going to build this empire that they've built on purpose to turn around and go, actually, we're going to sell because the Spurs fans aren't happy? They don't care. They've never cared.
The only
we got
way,
the MK Dons.
well,
We got
the
to
only,
become Tottenham Dons or something. I don't care.
yeah,
because
the only way you'll force them is by you stopping giving them your money. And I've
Never
been
going to
saying-
happen, Terry.
Do you know what's crazy? A lot of the United fans that do the protest about the Glazers, they're like, "Oh, we won, we protest, and they're selling." No, they've run out of money. There's no cash left at the club because of the 5 failed projects since Fergie, or the 4 failed projects since Fergie. The money's dried up. As soon as that happened, the share price got to its lowest point. equally they know that selling now, like the clubs that are really high value, they can get around 5.5 billion for it when they're paid nothing for it. The longer they hold on to it now there's no money left in the club because they've basically burnt the candle at both ends. It's done. Money running out is why the Glazers are selling. You guys have got a different situation where you don't have the same debt that we have. As an example, your revenues are growing. You've become this multi-purpose site, as you've mentioned already, which is essentially you're like the new O2 of London. You're like, and that's not even a dig. It's what your stadium has become. The only way you guys get rid of them is for you all to boycott and pull your money away. But what they know, the same as the Glazers know, same as FSG know, is that most football fans, whether you want to call it like genuine love or blind love, whatever you want to call it, their passion for their club is so much that they will not be able to pull their money away. Their connection to their club is so deep, they won't be able to pull their money away. And they know it. Even with myself, when I pulled my money, it still hurts me now. I want to buy the kits. I want to dress my kids up in the stuff. I want to spend money, even if I'm not going to games because of my job. I still want to give the club money and everything I can. Like just my little couple of £100 a year. It means something. I've support, like there's a difference between being a fan and being a supporter. Supporters support. You support by giving. But the problem is with you guys, you're supporting something where their main aim isn't to win the trophies. Their main aim is to become richer out of you.
Terry,
so you're stuck between a rock and a hard place. You really are.
Terry, though the season ticket renewals will be out soon, right? You and I both know, right? Everyone on here knows, all the Spurs panel, we all know the season tickets will be sold like that, right?
Yeah.
And we all know that even if people stopped going, the amount of tourists that will come to Tottenham Hotspur to watch Tottenham Hotspur each week, the Korean market with Heung-min Son, right? The American market because of the NFL, right? All of these different markets, the stadium's going to be sold out. And this is why loads of people have had a go at me in the community and have kind of ostracized me in some way from the community, guys, because, and you know this, Alex, right? Because I say I'm Levy and Enoch out, but I don't protest. And I keep saying this, when you've got owners that want £4.5 billion for their company, it's not a football club, for their company, they're not going to see 1,000 of us down the high road and go, oh my God, what? They don't like us. All right, we'll sell in the morning. And then even if they did, you've got to have someone out there that's going to go, yeah, there you go, 5 billion.
Yeah.
Right. We're not talking like, I'm going to say this all due respect. When Newcastle was sold, they were selling a club worth 300 million. Right. And there's loads of people in this world now, as crazy as this sounds, that have got 300 million. There are not loads of people that are knocking about with 5 billion that want to come and invest without actually the club being up for sale.
Liverpool couldn't find buyers. That is why the Qataris showed an interest, but then as soon as Man United came along, they're like, no, we're going to run that. Man United is a different animal. We all know the brand of Man United. I use the example this way. A lot of people, and by the way, I love them. They're brilliant at what they do. A lot of Arsenal fans hate AFTV. Get them out of our club. A lot of Arsenal fans say it. And I'm like, but you're never going to get Robbie to stop making content while people are willing to watch it. The only way to get rid of it is by people not watching it, and it will naturally fall away. But enough people love it. Robbie didn't go, do you know what? There's a lot of gooners that don't like me, so I'm going to stop making Arsenal fan TV content because there's more gooners that like them. And this is the issue with Spurs trying to get rid of Levy with 1,000-person protest. They outnumber you probably globally, outnumber you 1,000 to 1, 10,000 to 1. People that are willing to do what's required to get rid of you. And by the way, I'm not advocating boycotting AFTV. I'm just making the example. You can't make someone stop running their business by not liking them or moaning about them or campaigning against them. The only way you stop them is by getting the majority of people that like what they do to walk away. And that's very difficult to do. But I've always looked at it this way. Me boycotting Man United financially was me showing them love. I look at that as love because I don't care about the short-termism. I care about the long-term direction of my football club. Now, my actions haven't led to the Glazers selling either because not enough of us pulled our money away. It's kind of been a hybrid of, they've run out of money. And I do feel a bit sorry for Tottenham fans in this respect because I care about football fans because all our clubs were built by working class people. And I don't like seeing these I don't mind billionaires using the clubs to make more billions for themselves as long as they give us what we want first, which is the best football team possible for us to enjoy. Because people say football's entertainment. I disagree. I think football is entertaining, but football isn't entertainment. Football is escapism. For me, it's an escapism from life. It's an escapism from life, and it's one time during the week where the working class communities can come together and go, right, we're going to go watch the football. We're hopefully going to enjoy it. We're going to have a good time because we know the club is trying to be the best it can be. When you know that they're cutting corners and they're cutting corners and cheating you as a fan to make more money but not create the best football team, whilst charging the most amount of money in the country for tickets, whilst hosting all these things they're doing, whilst getting these go-karting tracks, it must be so frustrating. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
Terry, with Spurs, the thing that annoys me most is when you look at Spurs, when they advertise the stadium, they say about the NFL first, they say about concerts and who they can get there and everything. And at the end, then it says, finally, it says about, also Tottenham Hotspur matches here. They see us as a football club last. And it's not, I'm not even lying. You can go and check it yourself. They see us as a football club last. And that is absolutely disgusting. The worst thing we did was that stadium, because I would rather have had a Premier League or a Champions League with more investment, get Poch over the line, if you could have had it that way, than that new stadium, because it's what's turned us into a cash cow where they make the monies on us. It makes it obviously like they're happy when Spurs went back to the stadium, fans went back to the stadium after the pandemic. It was all about, we've achieved 13 seasons out of 14 in Europe because it's better for their bottom line. That everything that helps them is what's good at. We are, and this is no dig, back under, because Spurs fans used to mock Arsenal fans when they used to go, top four on the last thing, when they were just getting top four. And now Spurs fans are doing the same thing, going, we should get top four. I don't care about top four. It is not a trophy. I would rather have seen FA Cup, you beat Sheffield United, you get to Blackburn in the quarterfinal, you're through to the semi-final, 2 games away, anything can happen. Same with the League Cup. Let Mourinho take that final. You may get a League Cup against Pep Guardiola, another trophy and stuff like that, to put that 15 years to, or 13 years to when it was to bed. But no, all the time, it's what can be done off the pitch first with Spurs and not on the pitch. Pochettino said, okay, great, you give me a nice new house, but I've got no furniture for it. Basically saying that, and this is the thing, people say, well, Poch didn't win anything. Poch went with a team that had, finished 8th or 10th the season before, and he went young. We started young, and he built a team that was close to challenging. But rather than get 2 or 3 in every season, we went 18 months without, and then he said, I need new people, and then they got these high-value players, and it didn't work, and then they sacked Poch. We are an absolute mismatch. Like, we're so badly run from top to bottom in this, and it's just getting worse and worse, and it's just going to continue to happen unless there is a change right away through. But you can't it takes ages to get owners out. Managers, you can rotate all the time, but when you have defenders or players there that have been there for 9 years who are still playing for this club, who are quite clearly not good enough, we're just and I thought this team would have changed from the start of this season, but it's not happened. I thought my expectation for this season was 3rd, because we're proven in last season, my expectations, and a trophy because we needed to win a trophy. It hasn't happened. That's why I'm Conte out, because we've underperformed. We've underperformed massively. So yeah, across the board, we're an absolute horrendous team, but a horrendous football club at the moment. It's not even funny.
Totally get where you're coming from. I want to do some of these super chats here. The first one says, being a Spurs fan is like having it's like having COVID, different variants of doom and sadness. Spurs are Gap, I don't know what that means. The greatest bottlers of all time. Conte in. Jerome here, that is a Spurs fan, says, let me ask all of you this. Do you want to be in the Champions League again next season? For me, it is a no. We are not good enough for this comp, and we should be able to attract good players even without the Champions League. Cedric here says, why should we pay 5 to 7 million to sack Conte now if he wants to leave Tottenham in the summer? I suppose, yeah. I mean, it is a very good point. Like, equally, some of you don't even want Champions League. Yeah.
He's going to get that money anyway, because his contract. If we're doing employment law, he's just finishing his contract, which is the next couple of months. The only thing they're worried about is paying someone else another salary. Look, the truth of the matter is, Conte has done a crap job, and he needs to go. I mean, we sold our souls to the devil bringing in Mourinho and Conte, because we talked about the Tottenham way of football. And I feel like the reason why we feel like this is not just because the season's been poor. We've had to put up with diabolical, quite frankly, crap football on the hope and the proviso that if this crap football gives us a trophy or a higher finish, we'll take it.
Deji, I got a question for you. Are you related to Nigel Benn?
No.
Because you look and sound like Nigel Benn. Honestly, it's uncanny. Honestly, you look a bit like him, and you just remind me of Nigel Benn. Your accent, everything, mate. I just thought I'd ask. Maybe it was a family thing. I don't know.
That's right. Yeah, I can throw some jabs like him, though. I'm not going to lie.
Terry, you're wrong. The Spurs players never saw him when he went for the kick, yet you bitched about Man City's penalty, saying it was not intentional. Sorry, say that again, Terry. You're wrong. The Spurs player never saw him when he went for the kick, yet you bitched when City's penalty, saying it was not intentional. I don't know what City penalty you're talking about. For me, look, it was a penalty because he catches him. It's as simple as that. What did I say wasn't intentional? The handball I moaned about the other day. That's because I thought the guy's back. I wasn't even that I didn't think City's was handball. I just don't know what handball is anymore, is what I stated, my friend. But thank you. Tottenham is like the film Misery. Kane is Paul Sheldon. Levy is Annie Wilkes. Free Kane. No more top 4 trophy. Arsenal to win the league. I tell you what, that is a great film, Misery. What is it? It's called the sledgehammer scene. You've got to watch it. Mate, that honestly, I remember watching that as a kid. I couldn't go to sleep. It's a madness. Spurs are such a joke. That it's embarrassing for Arsenal to call them rivals. Even worse for the Premier League to consider them top 6. Need to change the narrative. This here says, sorry, go on, mate, go on.
I think no, Tottenham are a top 6 club because they bring in so much money financially that it's crazy. I mean, I go to NFL London every year, and the club shop, they convert it to an NFL shop, and the amount of people that go in there buy merchandise on a match day, even the international fans.
Do you know something's crazy?
Up with the concerts, the stadiums, everything. Listen, I don't, even when the people see Enoch out, why would they sell? They spent 20 years turning Tottenham into a nothing club.
Sam, do you know something's crazy? Do you know what's crazy? Spurs now turn over more money a year than Arsenal. From a business perspective, they're wealthier than Arsenal. And that's why the expectation should be really high. Chelsea should score here. Oh, that's an awful pass. This super chat here says, aren't these the same people who celebrated the work of Levy after the summer transfer?
No.
Do not group us all together.
I've got proof on my channels or Alex CHSC if you really want to know. You know what I mean? So don't chat rubbish about me, boy. Trust me, boy, man.
Mr. Box Office. You should change your channel to Mr. Box Office. That'd be better.
That's what I've told him that as well. Yeah.
And take the advice from me, someone who's been semi-successful in the YouTube world. Semi-successful.
You've done really well, Terry. I'll give it to you, bro. You've done very well, bro. Give you some plaudits.
Okay. There's people out there with like 1.5 million subs. So I've done okay in comparative terms. But thank you very much. I appreciate it. Listen, boys, I appreciate you coming on here and having this little therapy session with us. Viewers, we're live after Chelsea, Everton, and Man City versus Burnley. So make sure you're tuning in for that. And hopefully they're quite easy results because I want a pretty swift finish to that stream because, of course, it's UFC London tonight, baby. And I'm very much excited to hopefully watching Leon Edwards spark out Usman again. I don't know if he will, but I'm hoping he does. It's hope more than expectation. Boys, Deji, Sav, Alex, Sam, and of course, Alan, thank you all very much. My super chatters and members, you're amazing. Hit the like button before you leave. Make sure when you subscribe and you've turned on bell notifications. Take care. Goodbye. God bless. And I'll